All right, so today we're going deep, diving deep into Canibus, Ghost of Hip Hop's Past. And I feel like this is one that people have been wanting us to get to, for a long time.
Oh, absolutely.
And there's a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
And I think, what we're really going to focus on here is the message of the track, lyrical breakdowns, and obviously Canibus's lyrical skill.
Yeah, this is a big one. I mean, Ghost of Hip Hop's Past, it's a statement piece for Canibus, and it really kind of puts him in the conversation as one of the greats, as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely. And he does it by kind of taking us back, right? Like verse 1 starts with him waking up in 1988, which, if you know your hip-hop history, is a legendary year for the culture.
Absolutely.
And it almost feels nostalgic, right? The way he's describing it, the feeling, the energy of the time.
And then he kind of shifts where he goes into the disillusionment, the commercialization starts to seep in, and that authenticity starts to fade away. I mean, you hear that in the lyrics. My label shot me in the back. I woke up, now I'm awake. I found democracy to be fake.
Right. It's that, almost betrayal that I think a lot of artists feel when they get into the music industry.
Absolutely. And he's using it almost as fuel to power the rest of the song. Like he's saying, this isn't the hip-hop that I fell in love with, so I'm about to show you what it is.
Exactly. And he does that through these incredible, almost lyrical history lessons.
Yeah.
Especially in verse 2, where it's like this torrent of names.
Yeah.
But he does it in a way that's not just name dropping. It's like he's weaving this tapestry of influences, right? He's shouting out the pioneers, the legends that came before him, like EPMD, Dougie Fresh, Slick Rick, Run DMC. I mean, he goes on and on.
It's incredible the way he's able to incorporate all these different artists. And, he's not just kind of throwing these names out there. It's very intentional. Like when he says, I memorized Rock the Bells. I used to rock gazelles. Referencing that Run DMC classic.
And the way he flips it, right? He's referencing the song, but he's also, showing off his own lyrical prowess.
Exactly.
And it's that double meaning, that wordplay that makes it so interesting.
Yeah, and I love that line, Shantae dimple on her face. Pretty as well.
So good.
Just a little nod to Roxanne Shantae.
Absolutely.
And he does it all so effortlessly.
It's like he's having a conversation with you, but it's this incredibly complex, rhyme scheme layered on top of it.
Absolutely. I think this verse is really important too, because it's Canibus really saying, I know where I come from. I know the greats. I respect the foundation that was built, but I'm here to add to it.
It's like he's establishing his lineage.
Yes. Exactly.
Right.
And then we get to verse 3.
And the tone kind of shifts again.
Yeah. He gets a little more introspective.
A little more personal.
Like he's giving you a little piece of his own journey, his own experience in the industry.
Yeah, and I think that vulnerability.
Yeah.
When he says things like, my friends disappeared faster than my budget when my producer was greedy.
Yeah.
It's like,
real.
That's the stuff that resonates. It makes you connect with the artist.
Yeah. And it would be easy to kind of fall into to almost get mired in that negativity.
Right.
But then he hits us with, I've been eating MCs.
Come on.
Come on, I'm still here.
Let's go.
Don't count me out just yet.
That's that hip-hop braggadocio, right?
Exactly. He's reminding everyone that he can still go bar for bar with the best of them.
Absolutely. And I think that's a really important point to make, because he doesn't just disappear into that kind of woe is me, He comes right back with that fire. You're like, I'm still here,
Yeah, and I think it ties back to what the song's really about. For him, it's that claiming his spot in hip-hop, you know what I mean? He deserves to be here.
Exactly, and he's proving it with every bar.
Yeah.
And we haven't even gotten to verse 4 yet, where things get really interesting.
I know, right?
But we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back to break down that final verse.
Because in that last verse, Canibus, he runs into K-Solo.
And K-Solo, for people who maybe aren't familiar, talk about a figure who embodies that golden era, that raw hip-hop sound.
Absolutely, Matt. He is straight out of 88.
Yes. And it's almost like this passing of the torch moment where Canibus is expressing these frustrations, these doubts, and K-Solo kind of pulls him aside and is like, yo, you're Canibus. You already know the flows I spit. We love hip-hop. We got to pay homage to the shit. He's reminding him of his own power.
Yeah, snap out of it, man. You're Canibus. He's reminding him of his roots, his lineage, everything that we were just talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think it's really telling how after that encounter, the song kind of just comes to this crescendo with Canibus repeating, I love hip hop.
Yeah, chills.
It's simple, but it's so powerful.
Yeah, it gets me every time because you can just feel that, like, that pure love for the art form, you know?
Yeah.
Despite all the BS, all the challenges he's talking about, he always comes back to that love.
Absolutely. And it makes you realize, like, this isn't just a nostalgic trip down memory lane, Ghost of Hip Hop's past. It's a conversation that's still relevant today.
Absolutely.
Artists are still grappling with these same issues, right? How to stay true to yourself while navigating the music industry.
100%. And we haven't even touched on, like, the lyrical complexity throughout this whole song.
Right.
Like, even when he's getting into those deeper emotions.
Yeah.
He never sacrifices the craft.
Never.
You know? The rhyme schemes are so intricate. He's still playing with language. He's using metaphors. It's all there.
He's firing on all cylinders. And that's what I love about Canibus. It's like he's proving that you don't have to choose between being lyrically gifted and being commercially successful. Like, you can have both.
You could have it all.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's about finding that balance.
Yeah, and think about it. The song starts, right, with that beat that's kind of ominous, almost like a siren. And he comes in with, yeah, the ghost of hip-hop's past. Let's see how long infinity can last.
So good.
It sets the tone for the entire track.
It's like he's giving you a warning. Like, listen up. I'm about to take you somewhere, you know?
It's a challenge, you know? He's challenging himself. He's challenging the listeners. He's challenging the industry. And he's not letting up.
No, not at all. And I think that's what's so captivating about Canibus's flow. It's like he's in a constant state of lyrical acrobatics. Like, he's just effortlessly moving from one complex rhyme scheme to the next, the internal rhymes, the multisyllabic wordplay. It's insane.
It really is, and it's so natural for him. Like, he's not even trying, you know? He bends language to his will.
Right. But it's never at the expense of the message.
Right.
Like, you always understand what he's saying.
True, yeah.
Even if you have to, like, rewind it a couple of times to catch all the nuances.
Yeah, exactly, because it's not about showing off. It's about elevating the art form, right?
Exactly.
It's about showing that you can be complex and still be clear. You can be thought-provoking and still be entertaining.
And you can hear the passion in his voice. You know, it's more than just music to him. It's
a personal, yeah.
This is his life.
This is him, yeah. And I think this song does such a good job of really highlighting all the different facets of Canibus as an artist.
Absolutely.
You know, we've got the nostalgia, the vulnerability, the lyrical dexterity, that powerful encounter with K Solo. It's all there.
It's like this perfect storm of hip-hop brilliance.
It makes you think about the importance of storytelling in hip-hop, you know? It's like he's tapping into, like, the oral tradition of hip-hop, you know?
Right. It goes back to, like, the park jams, you know?
Yeah.
Where it's all about, like, these MCs just spitting, telling stories, keeping the crowd engaged.
Yeah, and you think about those early pioneers that he's shouting out too, like Rakim, Cool G Rap, Big Daddy Kane, you know?
Legends.
He's not just name dropping, he's inserting himself into that lineage, that history.
Building that bridge, right, between generations of hip-hop.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's like, I see you, I respect what you've done, but I'm here now.
And then you couple that with, like, the lyrical skill.
Oh, forget about it.
Because, I mean, Canibus is, like, top tier when it comes to that.
Absolutely one of the best to ever do it.
It's more than just the technical ability, you know?
Right.
It's that honesty in his music.
Yeah, he's not afraid to get real, you know?
He's not afraid to be vulnerable and still be like, but I'm nice of it.
Exactly. And that's what makes him so compelling. It's like, he's challenging the status quo.
Yeah. He's making you think about, like, what hip-hop is and what it can be.
And he doesn't compromise, you know?
Not at all.
He's not dumbing it down for anybody.
He's respecting his audience.
Exactly. He's saying, you want to come with me, let's go. But I'm coming at you on my level, and you can tell how much this music means to him. It's more than just beats and rhymes. It's like, it's a way of life.
Right, and Ghost of Hip Hop's past. It's like, it's this perfect encapsulation of everything we've been talking about.
It really is.
It's got the nostalgia, it's got the miracle wizardry, it's got that raw emotion.
That message is timeless.
And that's why it still resonates today, you know?
Absolutely.
Like, it's a song that no matter when you hear it for the first time, if you're a hip-hop head, you're going to feel it.
100%. And if you're just getting into Canibus, this is a great entry point. But I encourage you to dive into the rest of his discography.
Oh, yeah. Trust me, there's so much more to uncover.
He's got a deep catalog, and every album is like a masterclass in lyricism.
Absolutely. And don't sleep on those features, too.
Oh, yeah.
You catch him on a track with other artists, he always brings that heat.
Every single time.
So, yeah, Ghost of Hip Hop's past, Canibus, a true innovator, a legend.
Absolutely.
And if this deep dive has inspired you to revisit some of those classic tracks, let us know. Hit us up on social media. Let's keep the conversation going.
Yeah. What are the songs that, transport you back to your golden age of hip-hop? We want to know.
We'll be back next time with another deep dive. But until then, keep those beats bumping and that love for hip-hop alive.